Okay, let's begin. Hello to everyone. Thank God for today's live that we can continue our exercise for today. Okay, let's start. Planning and Control Management Part 4, Program Progress Monitoring, Updating, and Controlling. Our previous episode was Part 4, Session 4, Progress Update 001. The same updating direct activities. Update units when costs change and the resource assignments. And this is our second segment. Now our current episode is part 4, session 5, the same subject, and the main topic is updating direct activities. And here is the details of the topic, actual dates, updating actual dates, percent progress, remaining duration, actual resource assignments. Actually, there should be also the it should include, yes, I forget, actual expense cost. And this is our third segment. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, based on the revised site performance and resource report that we receive or we revise, let's update our program now. I think it will happen now. Okay, the first move we have to do here is to create a layout for activity progress update. Okay, let's open our project and our Primavera. So let's open. Actually, I have already, let's say yes. Here, program progress update. I have already created it. I will just explain to you how it will work. Okay, apply. Okay, here is the, okay. Would you like to save the changes? No. Okay. Here we go. We will remove some of these. Actually, okay. Here are the columns. We have the activity ID, activity name. Once we establish this one, the next progress update will be easier for us because we will just open this one and then we will be familiar on how to update or where we have to input. Okay, the original duration, actual duration, remaining duration, I'm trying to show it here to be able to see the changes whenever we input our progress. Okay, the total float, this is to determine whether our project is getting delayed or ahead. And we have here the start date and the finish date, the actual and the actual start and actual finish. This is where the column we have to input our actual dates. And also, I just put it here in the column. There is another way on how to input your actual dates. It's here under the status tab on the bottom window here. You can see here, just if your activity started, just click the mark the checkbox and then enter the actual dates, the same as in finish date. So we have here the activities, percent complete, the percent complete type, and the duration percent, physical percent, unit percent, schedule percent complete. Actually, we don't need this one, but later we will be using it. And here, since we have our baseline schedule, we assign here as a baseline to our current program update schedule program. So it is shown here. So for now, they have of the same budgeted total cost with the current program. So this is our baseline and this is our current. And if you can see here also, I also shown it here, but I think I need to explain this briefly or in detail regarding this one. I just show it here because for my reference whether our work is working well or not. Okay. The first move, we have already created the layout, right? This one, not really created. I have already created. Okay. I think you are already familiar on how to create the layout, how to save the layout, and how to save as layout. Okay. Okay, let's review first the project details on the calculation. So we will go to project window and then highlight our project. And here under the calculation, as I've shown here to you, I have already checked this one. Update units when cost change in the resource assignment. I think it's better we will have to remove this one because we are not calculating anymore. And I think it's not the right time now to make another changes for our cost. And here we need this one, a link actual to date and actual this period units. The purpose of this one is that later on we will encounter the what we call the past period performance or storing of past period performance, where in this when we check this one, we have only to input the this period performance. What is mean by this period performance? That is only a period. It's about we are talking just for a period, let's say, for example, 1 month interval. So for the period of June, for the period of July, and I mean the values is intended only for a specific period of time. While when we say actual to date, that is an actual cumulative actual values. So that means when we will be updating our project by September, and since we have started by June, so that means the cumulative amount of that is the summary of June, July, August, September. So that is actual to date. But the actual this period, let's say, for example, we are updating by the month of September. So that means actual this period is only for the month of September. But the actual to date is from the start of the project down to the current period. Okay. So I check this one so that only the actual this period that we have to feed the data, and the actual to date will automatically calculated accordingly if we have our period performance stored in every period. Okay. I think I hope you understand what I'm saying here. So let's get back to activity. So we are already this is. So as I said, link actual to date and actual this period unit and cost. This is to be able to input actual data in the resource assignment. This period actual units and the actual to date units will be calculated accordingly. So also let's review the schedule options. Let's see, go to schedule option and view, and we will review this one, recalculate assignment cost after scheduling. Do we need to check this one or not? So of course we have to check this one because we have already a markup units change. Sorry. Because if we will check this one, so once we run the schedule, it will recalculate the assignment cost. So of course, we need this one. If we will remove it, so the assignment cost will not be calculated once we run the schedule. Okay, let's close it. How about if we will remove this one first, because sometimes this is disrupting our concentration. We can do it manually if we want, right? Let's say, for example, this one, we can run that one and that's it. Okay, what is the next move here? Okay, let's review the bars. Do we need to review the bars? Because we will be updating this one. And of course, when we start putting the actual dates here, there will be an actual bar that should be displayed. So let's see if there is an actual bar already in our bar window. Okay, let's right click here and then bars. And then we will look at any actual. We need the actual normal bars and the actual milestone bar. Do we have yeah, we have already here. So you can change this one or whatever you like, the color, but always check the filter. So when you say normal, that is a bar, and when you say milestone, that is a milestone. No, that is correct. And it should be the specification of the bar should be an actual bar. Okay, and we name it as actual work. And okay, this one is wrong. We will make it as actual milestone. Okay. Okay, let's apply it. Okay, there is no bar yet because we have not yet. Okay, let's talk about this one. The activity percent complete and the percent complete type. And that 3% complete type, if we click here, this is the duration, this column, and the physical is this column, and the units is this column. Okay, so let's elaborate it one by one so that everybody should understand before we moving forward. Okay, so this activity percent complete, speaking of it, activity percent complete, we have three choices of that activity percent complete type, and that choices, as I said, is this one: duration, physical, and units. So I show the column here for each of the percent complete, for each type of percent complete. Because if we don't understand how Primavera P6 works for this activity percent complete type, then we are not sure if we are doing our work correctly. So my simple understanding for this is that activity percent complete is equal to whatever choice from the 3% complete type. That means activity percent complete type just adapt whatever percent that we have to choose in here. Let's say, for example, if we choose duration. So if we input the percentage here under the duration, the activity percent complete will copy it, will adapt the value. And the same, let's say, for example, if we choose the physical, just an example, and then we enter the physical percent complete here, and it automatically goes to activity percent complete, the same as in units percent complete. Okay, let me elaborate to you what are these three types of percent complete. Okay, let's return this into duration first. Okay, my simple understanding for this is that activity percent complete is equal to whatever choice from the 3% complete type. So if our choice is duration percent complete, then activity percent complete inherit the same value. And the remaining duration of the activity is calculated or updated automatically by Primavera P6. And vice versa, when remaining duration is updated instead of the duration percent complete, this means that if you update the remaining duration, the activity percent complete will be calculated by Primavera accordingly. And take note, duration percent complete type use the original or planned duration against the estimated remaining duration of the activity in deriving percent complete. Actually, the formula for this one is that uh, original duration or planned duration less the remaining duration, and then divide it by the original or planned duration multiplied by 100. That will be the percentage of your duration percent complete. Okay. Now, if we choose, let's say, if we choose a physical percent complete type, if we choose it, then activity percent complete inherit the same value, but the remaining duration of the activity is to be updated manually by the scheduler. Take note, physical percent complete type use the quantity of work for a particular activity in deriving percent complete. Let me give you one example. Let's say, for example, we have our scope of work for the site clearing with a 100 square meter, 100 hectares of site clearing. And after a few period of updates, we arrive into, we completed almost 50 hectares, or let's say exactly 50 hectares we completed uh, for that job. So that means the percentage or the physical percent complete will be 50 hectares divided by the required 100 hectares for site clearing. So we'll give you multiplied by 100 will give you the physical percent complete. Okay. So let's go now for the units. Now, if we choose a if we choose, a units percent complete type, then activity percent complete the same, inherit the same value, because activity percent complete just another whatever choice that we have in the three type of the percent complete. And the value is readily exists when the activity has resource assignment. Okay, that means there should have a resource, actual resource loaded, or as updated in the resource of the activity before it shows value. Okay, but for now, if you can see the actual units here, okay, let's use this let's say activity. Let's say, for example, the actual units, if you look at here, the actual units here is still 0 because we don't have any value yet assigned, okay? Okay, but here in the units percent complete, the remaining duration of the activity is to be updated manually by the scheduler, the same as in physical percent complete. Unlike the duration percent complete, that whichever you input percent complete for the duration, the remaining duration will be calculated automatically. And if you use the remaining duration as your data, then the duration percent complete is calculated accordingly. And also take note for this unit percent type, because it uses the labor and non-labor units assigned or loaded in the activity in deriving percent complete, which is equal to the ratio of the actual units and the estimated units at completion. Actually, in my own understanding, in this type of activity percent complete, we will be using this as the activity percent complete. I'm not sure if this is really reliable, because it is apparently assuming that the resource unit assigned has an efficiency to achieve the work accurately as planned, which is for me has a very small percentage into reality if we will be using this unit percent complete as our activity percent complete. Anyway, it's the choice of anyone, but I have my own choice. So if you like it, then follow. If you don't, no problem. Okay, to convince us how these three types of a percent complete really works or behaves, let's do it in a Primavera P6 using the trial and error method. Because here, if we will do it by trial and error method, we can see really how these items or any items works, right? Okay, let's first we will I think we will have to status our project. So this is the first thing that we need to do here. We will status our project since we are now on our data date here. Is data date. Okay, we will show our data date here so that we can see where we can find our data date. Is this here in dates, or can we see it here? No. Okay, let's try to type it. Alt F, data date. Oh no. Actually, our data date, we can find it here. Okay, June 1. So that means we are updating in monthly regular basis as per the contract requirements. So we will run it into July 1. Okay. Remember, from my own way of understanding regarding the status date and the data date is different. I don't know from others, but when I say data date, that is the start date of the remaining activities of the project. When I say status date, that should be the day before the data date. Okay, that means when you update your progress for the month of June, so it should be from June 1 up to 30th of June. And there you have to supply the actuals every progress on that period, but July 1 should not be updated, or should not be when your data date is July 1, it should not be there should have no progress or actual dates on that date. Okay, so let's update it into July 1. Okay, schedule. Okay, as you can see, from here, it moves down here. So if you look at the total float, there is a negative 30. You know why? What is the reason why? It is because we move this project schedule by 30 days without any progress yet in being updated here. So that means here you can realize that once the project start, and if you have given the number of activities to accomplish for that period, you have to do so, because if there is none, this will happen to your schedule if you have no progress on your project. Because remember that the time is moving and there should something to happen on your project. Okay. So next we have to take note this also. This is very important before updating anything for the activity. Be sure to review the resource assignments of your activity and be sure to mark in the calculate cost from units checkbox. So what I'm saying here is this one, a resource, this one. You have to check it now, because once we input the actual dates here, what will happen? It will calculate the values here. Let's say, for example, if you look at the budgeted cost here and compare to the actual, the remaining, and the at completion, for now, they are all the same. It is because there is no actual yet. Okay. So if we will not check this calculate cost from unit, so it will not be calculated once we input the actual here. Okay. First, let's apply actual start date. Okay, we will start from the contract award. So I'm pretty sure this contract award starts last June 1, according to the contract letter sent. That's only our assumption. That is, we are just doing some assumptions that it looks like we are really on the project. Okay, June 1. And also here, the notice to proceed was issued the same day. Okay, and then how about this project start? If you look at our data, the performance report, it shows there that project start on June 6. Okay, so June 6. Okay, so I just click here. Okay, when you update the actual date, just click it here, whatever here, and if you like, let's try to update it here. We will use this status tab on the bottom window. We will check the start. What happened? Yeah, we will check the start and then put whatever date was it? June 6. Okay, June 6. Okay. If you look at the bar here, it changed into what do you call this? Blue, because that is what we defined in the bar type. Okay, so next, handover, it will be later. So next, we will go to this activity. Okay, so in this activity, what are the dates here? So they completed it by from 6th of June to 15th of June. So we will click here and then we will June 15, no, June 6 up to when? June 15, right? Okay, I'm looking at the data. So when you look at here, it automatically, when you put the actual start and actual finish, the activity percent complete becomes 100%. Okay, so we are done here. Do we need something here? Of course, after we updated the progress, we have to update also the resource assignment. So we will go to the bottom window, click the resource tab. Okay, so the first thing we have to do here is to check the remaining duration. Okay, since the remaining duration is since this activity completed, so the remaining duration obviously should be 0. There is no more remaining duration because we have nothing to work for anymore. Okay, but if you look at the actual dates here, actually this is not sometimes Primavera. Actually this should be 10 days. The reason for this one is that because in Primavera, the number of hours Actually should be put accurately. Okay, but anyway, you can really detect it. Okay, next is first we have to check the remaining duration and how much is the actual this period units. Okay, that is what I am saying before. And here on the project window here, look at this one, link actual to date and actual this period. That is the purpose there. So the purpose of that is that whenever we finish this project and we will apply the store period performance, we have to just input the values here under the actual this period units, and then the actual units. Actually, this is the cumulative amount. This should be cumulative amount. So whenever you input it in here, the actual units will be calculated automatically by adding the previous cumulative amount or value plus the actual that we have to input here. Okay, but since now we have not yet updated previously, we have no update yet previously, so 0 plus actual this period will be equals to actual units. So we're looking at the what do you call this, our resource report. What is our data there? Temporary facilities, resource report. I know, yeah. Temporary facilities, how fuel, how much we have? 180, right? 180. And then laborer, we have 45. And what else? 45, and our medium-sized truck. We use how much? How many? 180, 45, and 9. And our truck driver is also 9. Okay. Okay. So here, remember that if there is, if the activity is not yet completed, or I mean, is still in progress, you have to check the remaining duration, because you have to estimate the remaining duration for you to be able to have your estimate to complete cost, so that you have the accurate or more or less accurate at completion cost. And of course, if you change the remaining duration here, so of course it will the remaining unit will be calculated by multiplying the remaining duration into the what do you call this, budgeted units per time. And of course, the cost will be calculated accordingly, depends on the price per unit. Of course, we are done here. So they will just input it now, and later on we'll be having also the session for analyzing the trend and something else for the report of the update program. Okay, let's go here to the second activity. So here in our second activity, we started when? It started 16th of June with a 75% complete. So it started this one, 15th of June. Okay. Okay. So here is now the question. Is the activity percent complete? So this is the reason why what do you call this? Okay, what's next? Now here we can demonstrate activity percent complete type for this activity. Okay, we will demonstrate here in this activity. Okay, let's say, for example, if we will try to choose the duration first, duration percent complete. Look at what will happen. Okay, since we are using the duration percent complete, so this activity percent complete will just follow whatever percent that we have to put on these three choices. Since now we choose duration percent complete, so we have to put, if you want the percent complete here, if you have the data for the duration percent complete, let's say, for example, you have, you assume that the percent complete is 50%. So if you look at the activity percent complete, it automatically adopt the percent complete of the duration percent complete type. And if you look at the duration, it calculates the duration automatically. Okay. So this actual duration, this is the duration from 15 June down to the data date. That means the day before the data date. So that is the actual duration here, since it is still, the activity is still in progress. Okay. But if the activity completed, of course, that is the duration where it started and where it has completed. But since it is in progress, so the actual duration is from the start date, the actual start date down to the data date or the day before the data date. Okay, so the remaining duration is calculated automatically here. Okay, let's change the situation. Let's say, for example, it is 0. So if you look at the, when you use the duration percent complete, the duration automatically calculated, and the bar here is also adjusted. Okay. And let's say, for example, instead of the percent complete, you have to input your estimate remaining duration for the activity. So let's say if you use 15 days more to do the work, since you have seen that the manpower is working, efficiency is as per the expectation. So you can estimate that, let's say, they can finish it by 15 days more. So you have to put there 15 days. And then the duration percent complete will be calculated automatically as 50%. Okay. So let's move this one to 0. And then we will go to the physical percent complete. Okay. Let me show you before this one for the, here, we will go to the physical percent complete. Okay. Let's say, for example, if you have, have calculated that the budgeted, or the required work has completed 50%. So we will put 50% here. And of course, the activity, we will change this one into physical. Okay. So that means we will be using the physical once we input the physical percent here. So the activity percent complete will adopt what you have chosen for the percent complete type. So this is it here. Okay. But if you look at the remaining duration, there is no change. So that means you have to estimate the remaining duration freely by your own self, by your own judgment. Okay. So you can say by 50%. So you can say that, let's say it's 15% also. You have to calculate it based on the actual performance, right? Okay. So I think we are done with the physical. So let's move to the units. Okay. What I mean is this is 30 days. Okay, so we will remove this one, and then we will change this one to units. Okay, as I said before, that if you look at the units here, it is 0. You know the reason why? Because we have no actual resources yet here on our resource assignment. So we will supply the actual resources here. So what is the values? Okay, let's say, let me check first if there is an expenses here. Okay, none. Okay, so how much is the fuel that we spent for the site construction mobilization? For this, yeah, fuel, that is 380, right? Okay, and for our laborer is 65. And how about the medium-sized truck is 13. And also for the medium-sized truck is 13. Remember, this is actual. That means what is really how many units that we really use on site or on every work, it should be reflected here. But there are some schedulers that they are using the automatic calculation, but I don't know how they are doing it. Okay. Okay, 33, 65, 13, and 13. So we're done. So look at first. So we have put the actual this period here and the actual units. This is the cumulative. Still the same because there is no previous cumulative units yet. But for the next period, this 380 will be added into the actual this period unit again. Okay. So how about the remaining duration here? Okay. You have to estimate how many, let's say you have to estimate the remaining duration will be 15 days or before the actual units or the remaining units will be calculated here, because if you use 30 days the same, of course you will be spending more too much until you complete the project. So of course, since you have some accomplishment, let's say 30% or whatever, so you have to estimate how many days will be the resources will be used on site. So let's say if you use 15, okay, 15 also for here. That means you have to estimate the remaining duration to complete your project. So let's say 15, and also here is 15. Okay, so the remaining duration here will be calculated. That is, if you will be using the units percent complete. So I'm just demonstrating to you that this amount here on the units percent complete, how it exists or how it is calculated. Okay. So that means this value, how to do how it is derived. So this value is equals to the summation of the actual units here divided by the at completion units. Do we have here at completion units? Yeah, this one. So that means the actual or cumulative units, the summation of this one divided by the at completion units, it will become multiplied by 100. It will give you the 50.43%. Okay, I hope you understand. Okay, and the next, so for me, I'm not using this one really because, as I said, if we will be using this units percent complete, you're assuming that the resources are really accurate on their efficiency, that they can able to complete the activity or work on time or maybe ahead of schedule. But actually, even though it is ahead of schedule, you should not assume that that's it. What is really actual should be reflected here. But we should not assume that the resources are really working accurately, or the efficiency is really at work, at site. Okay. So I will show you how I calculated it by my own way of putting the percent complete. Okay, let's put this back to 30. Okay, 30, then 30. Okay, so how about if I will use this way? I will put this as actually the report is 75% physical percent complete, right? And then if I see physical percent complete, I will use this as I will use this as duration, and then I will be using the physical percent complete as the activity percent complete, which is 75. I use this duration so that the duration will calculate automatically the duration. But we are using the physical percent complete, which is for me, using physical percent complete is more reliable, because you really know how much quantity of work that you have to do for the remaining duration, right? And now, since we put it here as physical 75%, and the duration becomes 75% also, and the units percent complete will be calculated automatically, because the duration here for the remaining activity of the remaining duration of the activity, I will the resource duration will also adapt it. But be sure that the duration of the resource are really accurate. As I said, it is not all the time that the duration of the resources are the same as in the duration of the activity. I know that you are already aware why that the should not be always the same. It is because, like, for example, the truck can be used only for a part or portion of the activity duration, but not for the whole duration of the project, right? Okay, so what else? We have already input the duration, and since the remaining duration is already there, so the remaining units will be calculated automatically. So 8 multiplied by 20. So how much is that? Since the remaining duration is 8, and then the budgeted unit is 20 per day, but it looks like that the remaining duration here is 152. But if you calculate it, 8 multiplied by 20, actually, it should be 160. Am I right? So if you think that this duration, since you have to complete the duration in 8 days more, if you think that this budgeted unit per time is not enough to complete the project, as per your observation or as per your analysis, that the resources may be not enough to complete the activity in this duration, you can change these values here. But remember that it will affect your at completion cost. Okay, so at completion cost, maybe it will be higher than the budget one, or will be lower than the budgeted one. It depends on your usage of the resources that you deploy or employ on the work activities. So that is why we have the remaining units, and so that we can determine how much is the remaining cost that will be spent for the activity or for the project. Okay, so remember this remaining cost, there is a relation here with regards to the earned value. Later on, I will explain to you. Because you know the at completion cost. Anyway, we will explain it later because it is a different topic. So, okay, we're done here. Next, do you have anything else? Anyway, we will just concentrate first on the updating. So I think we are done already here. So next activity, remaining at completion units. Next activity. So everything here, I will be explaining this to you. All the items here, actual units, remaining unit, at completion units. I will be elaborating it maybe by the next session, so that everybody will understand deeply or clearly the terminologies here in Primavera P6. Okay, so let's go to our next activity. Do we have here more? What activities had progress? We have the construction of temporary facilities. It is also 100%. Let's check the other, if they have the expenses, because sometimes expenses is mislook or overlook. Okay, let's go temporary facilities. Actually, it is 100% also. It started from June 16 down to June 25th. So, okay, let me get back here. As you can see here, the physical is 75. They're the same except for the units percent complete. But actually, it is not, the difference is not big enough. Okay, so 100%. So once the activity is 100%, you have no more problem. So you have to look at the expenses, or I mean the expenditure. Okay, so how much is duration? That is 0. So you have to input only the actual this period. How much? That is 42. Yes, 42. So let's say we put it 42. Then here is 42. And then actually the actual duration here is 10. Okay. It is always less than 1. So, okay. Okay. No more. So we are done. So remaining cost and remaining units will be 0 because that is already 100% and no more work to be attended anymore. Okay, only the cost. So what else? Expenses. We'll go to expense tab. So here, the report says that they spent 320,000. So here on the actual cost, we have to put here 320,000. Okay. actual units. Why it is that the okay, the percent complete completion units. We have to show here the percent complete. Expense percent complete. Okay. Apply. So but actually this is already 100%. It should have been 100% already. Oh no. Okay. So that means if it is the actual cost is 320, so the remaining cost should be no more, right? So it should be 0. Okay. So we are done. So next 42, 320, we are done. 320,000 and what else? 42, 42 here. Okay, I think we don't miss anything anymore. So okay, we're done. Okay, let's run this one and schedule. Okay. So looking at the schedule, let's say for example, I will show you another situation here. When we say anyway, later on. So if you look at the our schedule, okay. Later on, we will complete this one. We still have the, I mean, the indirect activities to attend here. So we will do it for the next episode. Okay, we're done here. So I think it takes us a little longer. So this is enough for today, I think. So let's continue on the next session for the fourth segment of our program update 001. And we will attend to this project management and transportation. So what we have done now is only for the direct activities. So that's good for today. Okay. So our next episode will be part 4, session 5. I think we should have been, this is session 5 already, right? So I think we should be on the session 6. Let's check it. But anyway, that is about a progress update 001 also. But this one is updating the indirect activities. So this one, we have to do the actual dates, percent progress remaining, duration, actual resource assignments. There is no expense cost, so no problem. And also, we will be doing the storing of past period performance. So this is the fourth segment. And hope to see you uh, for the next episode. And thank you, guys. Uh, I'll be happy if you click like and then subscribe and share. Okay, so it's the end of our session. God bless to all and goodbye.